video is for B.Ed second year students, and today I'm going to teach an introductory topic from your paper titled Knowledge and Curriculum. Before I tell you the definition of knowledge, I want you to take a minute, pause this video here, and think of a definition of knowledge by yourself. Make one in your head. Though there can be subjective interpretation of the meaning, but let's see if you have got it right. To ancient philosophers like Socrates, knowledge was like the highest virtue. To some scientists like Albert Einstein, knowledge was experience, and everything else was just information. But from different calculations, we can conclude that knowledge is the mental grasp of the facts of reality. It is the awareness of the identity of particular aspects of reality. It is not just an awareness of reality, but an understanding of it. It is a successfully formed conclusion about some aspects of reality. An example of knowledge is the identification of the law of gravity, let's say. It is a characteristic of reality that is identified and understood. The traditional approach of knowledge puts down three necessary conditions, which are A. Truth, B. Belief, and C. Justification. These three conditions of traditional approach of knowledge can also be included in the characteristics of knowledge. The other characteristics include knowledge as a power. Because it is through knowledge that man has gained the power to control the forces of nature, and not just nature. Knowledge has power to defeat ignorance as well. The fourth characteristic of knowledge is that knowledge never ends, because knowledge is always dynamic. The fifth point is knowledge as an end. The end of human knowledge is the beginning of divine knowledge. End of all knowledge is self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is self-discovery, and in self-discovery, we feel the conquest of our own self. The sixth characteristic of knowledge is knowledge as a means. When one achieves knowledge and develops an understanding of it and applies it in practical life, one is using knowledge as a means. The last and the seventh characteristic of knowledge is knowledge as a cognitive process. By this we mean that knowledge which we learn and acquire is through our mental abilities. In developing knowledge, cognitive process helps through perception, reasoning, and defining. Now there are three broad categories in which we can divide our types of knowledge. The first one is general knowledge. General knowledge can be further subcategorized into two parts. The first one is non-empirical knowledge and the second one is empirical knowledge. Non-empirical knowledge is the knowledge that is known independently of experience. It is acquired through anything that is independent from experience. While empirical knowledge is the knowledge that is known by experience. It comes through our senses. The second major classification is according to Jain philosophy, and there are 5 subparts. The first one is Mati knowledge. It is ordinary cognition. Second one is Shruti knowledge, which is derived through symbols, signs, or words. Third one is Avadi knowledge, which is direct visual intuition, which enables a person to know things or objects. The fourth one is telepathy knowledge, the knowledge by which the soul can directly know the thoughts of others. And the fifth one comprehends all substances and their modification. It is the pure, absolute, complete, whole and total knowledge, unlimited by space, time or object. Let's discuss the sources of knowledge now. The first source is perception. We perceive through the experiences of the senses. And the view that experience is the primary source of knowledge is called empiricism. The second source of knowledge is reason, and the view that reason is the primary source of knowledge is called rationalism. The third source is introspection, knowledge of oneself that can be found through internal self-evaluation. This is generally considered to be a sort of perception. The fourth source is memory, which is the storage of knowledge that was learned in the past. The fifth is testimony. It relies on others to acquire knowledge and communicate it to us. Some deny that testimony can be a source of knowledge. The sixth source is intuition. It is personal spiritual experience. The knowledge obtained through the functioning of causal body is intuition. The next and the seventh source is the knowledge of God, or it can also be said Brahma Gyan. This is above intuition. It transcends the causal body and is the highest form of knowledge and the only reality. The last and the eighth source of knowledge is self-realization or Atma Gyan. It means knowledge of the self or the soul. The reason the term realization is used instead of knowledge is that the Gyan refers to knowledge of self based on experience, not mere intellectual knowledge. Next, we are going to discuss methods of acquiring knowledge, importance of knowledge, the next subtopic, knowing, and we will finish this topic by studying the contribution of teachers. These things you will study in the next video. For any queries, feel free to contact us.